Welcome again. My name is Eno Ekong, a marriage and family counselor. We're still reviewing my book, Marriage Best Practices. Like I said, it's my third book, but my second book on marriage. Chapter 5 talks about marriage best practices. What are the best practices for our marriage? 3 things we can pick from here. 1, not spending enough quality time together. Is that the practice you have? It must change. Allowing bitterness and resentment to build in our hearts. Failing to keep communication lines open. Do we communicate? There are practices we must put in place in our marriage that will help us to enjoy this marriage to its fullest. There are 3 pillars on the foundation of love. 1 is selflessness. 2 is forgiveness. 3 is communication. Are you ready to give a selfless service? Because remember, it's not just you in that relationship. You are 2, and there are bound to be mistakes. You get to serve. You get to give your time. You get to give your finances. You get to give your intellect. You get to give everything that you need to give to make that marriage work. You must be selfless. You must forgive. Will there be offenses? Yes, offenses will come. The Bible has already even said offenses will come. But you can be able to take control of that situation. Because if you look at the rhythm of our environment, it's either the rhythm controls us or we control the rhythm of our environment. You can also allow the rhythm of your marriage to control you, or you control the rhythm of the marriage. So it's important we allow forgiveness to have its way. Forgiving one another as Christ forgave us. He forgave us, and he's telling us, do the same, forgive. So whatever the issue is, we can forgive. And of course, communication. We should be able to communicate properly. Let your partner understand what you are saying. Understand what instructions you are giving as a man. Understand what you are passing across. Most times our communications are coded, and sometimes our partners don't pick the code. And we come back to blame them. No, make your communication clear. If they don't understand, or if you feel they don't understand, you say it again, pass it across again. Get to that point where you can ask, do you understand? And if they understand, they should be able to say back to you possibly what you had said. With that, you are able to, understand that they are getting along with the communication. Because if they don't understand what you are saying, if your spouse doesn't understand what you are saying, then he or she will misunderstand you, and it's the misunderstanding that is considered as the marriage continues to run. God's design for the family is that wives submit to your husband, husbands love your wives, children obey your parents. God's design for the family is that wives submit to your husbands, husbands love your wives, children obey your parents. We find this in Colossians chapter 3, if you read from verse 18 through to verse 21. So God wants our marriages to succeed, and he has given us what it takes to be responsible for the success of that marriage, for the breakthrough of that marriage. And all these are in the marriage best practices. They are practices we put in place, and we see the marriage just on its own roll into great time of ecstasy together, great time of fun, great time of happiness, great time of building a great and a wonderful marriage that others will see and will desire to want to get married. So let's make marriage best practice a handbook to be able to make our marriages work. And I pray that as you read, you will understand and be able to apply some pillars, some informations, and some write-ups that will really help our marriage to work. Thank you again for listening. We look at the next chapter as we conclude the book.